About that, everybody. I thought my settings were for it to be vertical, and it told me it was horizontal, so I had to flip it. Well, can't get my... Finally, it's coming through. Took it a minute. Trying to get the live chat up here. Hi, Connie. How are you? You know, Danny's got a live going on right now, so probably everybody's going to stay over there. Hey, Gladys. I don't know why, but there's a few people that when they respond to my chats, my name is highlighted in an orange box. And I think that's why. Hi, Holiday. There's Claire. I'm doing great. I just got out of the shower, but my hair's wet and all that. But other than that, I'm fine. How's everybody else doing today? I was eating some candy. Yeah, it's been a beautiful day today. No, Gladys, I'm not upset with you. That's my name. I mean, that's not advertising a link or anything, or it's not advertising my channel. It's just my name up there. But Danny was trying to say he told Monique to block me from Grandma's channel and Steven's channel because I was promoting my channel on theirs, and I've never done that. And I asked him that a minute ago in chat on his live that's going on right now. He says, I never blocked you. Well, yes, he has. And I'm still blocked from Steven and Grandma. But he never blocked me from the concert or Southern Ideas. But he did block me from Grandma's and Steven's channel. But that's okay. He's probably done all this just for publicity anyway. But that's his business. I could care less. I'm fine, Claire. And there's Anna's Mobile Home Life. Hello. Glad you're here. And there's Shelly Edwards. Hi. Hi, Shelly. Man, I have been working so hard all day. I knew my live was coming up, and I said, I've got to go take a shower. I've been putting it off all day. And I've been wrapping plaques that I got to get in the mail. And I've just been busy. I mean, one thing or another just kept me constantly. And my video I uploaded this morning, the first part of it was black. So I tried re-uploading it again, and it was still black. So I had to open it up in my viewer where I edit my videos. And it showed up that the first section was black. You know, when I tried to play it, it showed up black. So I had to delete that one little section out, re-upload it again. So it's uploading now. So sometime this evening, you know, I'll be able to publish it, I guess. I know I've never done anything on any of them's channel. I've never promoted myself like Danny told Monique I had. Like I said, some people, when they respond to me, my name comes up and it shows up in orange block. But it's just my name. It's not a link. It's not my channel. It's just my name. So, but he said I was promoting myself on their channel, so he blocked me. He said I was doing it in chat. I thought to myself, well, fine. I had been mentioning them in my lives, but I'll guarantee you this is the last live that I will ever mention the Hodges, Miss Helen, any of them. They're history to me. Because I was insulted when I found, I didn't even know it. I was in the live chat at Grandma's, chatting away, you know, and I had other things to do toward the end of the live. And I had to leave and get out and go do something else. And Bloomin said, I guess right after I left that live, Monique blocked me. And I didn't do anything in there for her to block me. But when I contacted her, she told me that Danny told her to block me from Steven's channel, his lives, and Grandma's lives, because I was promoting my channel in theirs, and I was not. So I went back to check, and sure enough, yeah, he did block me. But he says in his live right now that no, he didn't block me, but he did, and I'm still blocked, I'm sure. But that's okay. Well, I believe you, Gladys. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. I ought to go back in Southern Ideas and just get everybody in there that responds to me to show up my name in an orange box just to piss him off. I never did anything like that. I was trying to be friends with them. You know, I never said anything bad about them. I always loved to watch Grandma Helen's videos. I love to watch Steven's. Sometimes I'll watch Southern Ideas. Sometimes I'll watch Tammy's. But, you know, I have other people's to watch too. And between everything that I do and these videos, I can't watch all of them. There's not enough hours in a 24-hour day for me to watch all the videos. I just can't do it. It's impossible. Sometimes I'll rotate around. It's okay, Anna's Mobile Home Life. It's his loss. If he does not want me in their chat, fine. I don't want to be there. He's just doing all this crap just for publicity, to build his subscribers and his views up. But I don't care. Let him do whatever he wants to do. It's his life, his channels, or whatever. It's not going to affect me anymore. I don't have to watch their videos. I don't have to be in their live chat. I'll get in my own live chat. Yeah, somebody's playing games. And the same thing happened in Slim Twiggy's live last night. My name kept showing up in an orange box. And finally, I just asked Jody, what was she doing to have my name come up in a box? And she said she put in the @ sign and then my name, and it always shows up in orange. Well, I don't know why she's doing that, but I had nothing to do with it. I guess so Slim Twiggy would have a reason to block me from hers too, because I'm promoting myself, my channel in theirs. Well, I'm not the one that did it. So love you too, Gladys. Yeah, Gladys, I guess you thought that Slim Twiggy had blocked me from her live because you come in there and said it was sad what happened to me. And I think Slim Twiggy cut you off. And it was just about craziness where he blocked me. Yeah, that's what I figured. But evidently he thought I was trying to advertise and promote myself when people did that. I have nothing to do with that. They're not posting my channel link or anything. It's my name. What am I supposed to do? Change my name because Danny don't like it? The only time I ever mention my channel at all is if somebody asks me a question in chat and I may have hesitantly responded to them, but I'm not getting in there deliberately trying to promote my channel. Hi, April. How are you? Well, I don't think he's embarrassed at all because I think he did it for publicity, April. And he's got a live going on right now apologizing to everybody. If he really did that yesterday, if he was really drinking and drunk, he'd probably be too embarrassed himself to go live today. But he's right there like nothing ever happened. He knew people were going to forgive him and all this other crap. If I'd have been live for 16, 15, 18 hours drunk and then still drinking after the live ended, I don't think I'd be on a live right now. That's the reason I said I think it was all a publicity stunt on Danny's part to get more views and get subscribers, just to get in there to see what's going on. But, you know, hey, more power to him. He can just leave me out of his mess. He come in and said, well, you're not blocked. Yeah. For some reason, he did not block me from Southern Ideas channel nor Tammy's live. But I'm blocked from Steven's and Grandma's. So go figure that. That's a bunch of bull crap. And when Bloomin told me about it, she messaged me before I even knew it. I didn't even know it. He did it. And when I found out what he done and why Monique said he did it, I was just downright, I don't know, I just was insulted, to put it the least. Hi, Tricia, how are you? I mean, I hate to even bring it up on my channel, but some things need to be said to clear the air on my channel, because I've never been promoting myself on his channels. And after the stunt he pulled, whether it's for publicity or why he did it, I don't think I want to promote my channel on his. No, I'm not mad. I'm just telling it like it is. I mean, I don't think Danny's embarrassed at all. If he was embarrassed, he wouldn't be on a live right now talking about it all, trying to get sympathy from everybody. I have no idea, Gladys. Some of them said in chat earlier that it was an easier way to put my name up there without having to type it all in or something. I have no idea. Jody said you've got to put the @ symbol in front of my name for it to come up in an orange chat. I never knew that. I mean, I've seen it happen quite a few times in chats that I was in, but I didn't know how they were doing it. Because like I said, I had nothing to do with it. That's the reason I asked Jody how she did it. And she said, oh, you just put the @ symbol in and then put your name and it automatically comes up in an orange box. Probably not. They're never in my chats, but yet I know they've been watching because Stephen will do some stuff that I've done in his. And I don't care. I mean, everybody goes to everybody else's channel to get ideas about what to do on their own videos. Doesn't bother me a bit. Yeah, I was trying to help promote them. I'm not going to do it. This live today will be the last time you'll ever hear me utter any of their names on any of my videos or my chats. Right. You don't try to make everybody enemies or get rid of them. I mean, Gladys says, Linda, I know I'm burning red right now. Well, don't be mad about it. I mean, you know, I like getting in Grandma's chats and talking with everybody, and Stephen's too. But who cares? There's a lot more videos out there to get in live chats with. I got a lot of other friends. But I don't know what he's got against me. It looks like he's trying to ruin my channel is what he's trying to do. And I know Slim Twiggy's over there watching his now. She's not in mine. And I know after she blocked about 6 people the first time she ever blocked somebody in my channels, I've lost subscribers and I've lost viewers because they've never come back. And you don't block people like that. I mean, she blocked a person just because they wouldn't tell her where they're from. Well, we don't care where you're from. You're in my chat. If you want to chat with me, that's fine. I don't care what part of the country you're from. And I told Slim that. I said, mods don't interview subscribers. It's none of your business. I said, you're there to block them or suspend or delete their comment if they say something wrong or bad in my chat. I said, that's what you're there for. You're not there to ask questions and get mad just because they won't tell you where they're from and then block them on me. They were from another country too. So I probably lost a lot of subscribers in their country because she blocked them. Well, she's not going to get a chance to do that again. Oh, yes, she did. Where do you think I was, Bloomin'? I was right there in chat the night she did it. And I got on her right then in the live chat for doing that. I told her, I said, if they don't say something inappropriate or threatening, you don't block my people. And I said, if you have to block, if you've got to delete a comment, you suspend them for there's so many days, but they can come back. And if they come back later and do it again, then you block them. You don't block them the first time they do a little something wrong. So she's probably working with Danny. I don't care. I wasn't building my channel on the Hodges or Danny anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I'm definitely not trying to build my channel on Slim Twiggy. I was going to her lives. I subscribed to her channel to try to help her out. You know, I figured I was another subscriber. I was another person watching her video to get her counts up. I've never done anything to hurt or hinder anybody else's channel. And I've not been in there to try to advertise my own. Monique told me, Anna, that Danny told her to block me from Stephen's live and Grandma's live because I was promoting my channel in the live chat. So she said she had to do what Danny told her to do. So she blocked me from the live chat. I can go in and watch the videos, but if I post a comment, no one sees it because I'm blocked. Well, I'm glad you enjoy my videos, April. I'm glad to have you. Yeah, well, I hope you do have my back, Gladys. Looks like I'm going to need somebody to have my back. I know it's crazy. And he probably went live right now to try to make sure no one that goes into his lives come to mind because they want to hear what he's got to say after the stunt he pulled yesterday. And that's okay too. If they'd rather listen to his garbage than to be in my live chat, more power to them. I don't care. Exactly. He left it open for me to confront him in the live chat. Wonder why. Yeah, exactly. So after he made that comment, you know, I got out. I said, I'm not dealing with it anymore. I got my own life to take care of. I don't know. She's not been in this one, but I think she's over in Southern Ideas right now listening to Danny. She was in my live Thursday night. And you see Wilkes County Boy, John Ray, a lot of them are not in here tonight this afternoon because Danny chose to go live when he knew mine was going to be live. Just so he could, you know, cut me down on my views some more. He's out to ruin my channel is what he's doing, and I, for the life of me, don't know why. Like I said, I've never done anything to them, so I don't know why he's doing it. I'm not mad. I'm just stating a fact. It don't pay to get mad. And someone, when they realized I was in Slim Twiggy's live, they said something about, they asked her something in chat. They said, well, Slim, don't you mind who's in your chat? And she says, no, any of them can be in my chat. It's another view. So I don't know if they meant me or not. I have no idea. And I don't really care. Like I said, I don't care. I've got my own problems to deal with, and I got my own channel to do. I don't know either, Gladys. It's just a mixed up mess. I never did anything in comments or chats or any of those, in chat or off chat, to anybody to say anything against them. And I definitely have not promoted my channel in their lives, not intentionally. Yep, see, I only got 13 viewers here. before all this mess started, I had at least 40 or more views in my lives. I got 13 in here right now. And we've been on for almost a half hour. That's not normal. Maybe he thinks I'll pay him off. I'll start giving him super chats if he leaves me alone. I listened to some of the stuff he was saying in that live chat, and I thought to myself, man, God is going to strike you dead because you are lying your you-know-what off. Claiming to be a man of God, and he does God's work and all this stuff. Oh, my God. That man needs to get down on his knees and start praying. What do you mean, Gladys? No, I didn't. You said, no, you didn't. No, I don't understand what's going on. Like I said, I've not done anything, said anything. It's all a mystery to me, and I'm not going to worry myself sick over it. Just blow it off and let it go. Get on with my life and get on with my channel the best I can. But he's going to be out there trying to destroy me, and somebody else is going to come back behind him and stab him in the back. You wait and see. They'll try to get rid of him, and it's not going to be me. I could care less. I know, Holiday. Usually he goes live later in the evening. But he knew, because I had scheduled this live, he knew I was going live at 3 p.m. Central Time. So he went live just before me, and you know he stays on forever. And he did it just to keep them from coming to my chat. He figured they'll stay in his to find out what's going on. That's okay. I mean, I don't care. Some of them's probably listening right now, but they're not in chat because they don't want us to know they're there. I could care less. I don't think any of them are the Christians they claim they are either. And yes, I did say that. I wasn't, Anna. That's just the problem. Anna's mobile home life. I never did that. I certainly didn't do it intentionally. If somebody asked me a question about my channel, I might have answered them. But I didn't set out to go in there to promote my channel. Yep, that's what I say. I'm just going to detach myself from all the bull crap. I got enough. Hi, Sharon. How are you? I haven't seen Georgia Rainey or Boulder. I don't know if her name is Georgia in the chat or if it's Boulder City. But I haven't seen her in here. Hi, Sharon Tate. How are you doing? No, April, I never have. I know I didn't, Gladys. Never did anything wrong in any of their chats. And right now, I'm sorry I even bothered to go to any of them. I know, I don't, if it's once in a while, I don't mind someone that I know that's a subscriber of mine to show their link in my chat. I just said one time, I don't want every single line of chat to be somebody else's channel, But occasionally, if somebody wants to put in a link, then I'm fine with that. I don't go to other people's chats to try to promote myself. I'm in there just to chat with everybody. Connie says, I'm still here, just don't talk much. Yeah, I think I'll be like other people. I'll be a silent viewer from now on in any of them. And unless it's somebody I really know, then maybe. Well, I was waiting till we got a good crowd in here, and hopefully Boulder City would be in here because they're the ones that sent this gift that I was going to show. And I said, usually I jump the gun and I show stuff before they get in. Right after I show the stuff, then the person that sent it comes into chat. So I was trying to give them time to get in here. April says I'm on a break. Well, we've been in here for a half hour. So I'm going to go ahead and show the gift. It came in this box. And it is from Georgia, Boulder City, I think is what her name is. And I think I already know what it is because she said what she was going to send in chat one time or in a message. It may have been in a message. Yeah, this is stuff she said she was going to send. A big bag of walnuts. A big bag of roasted almonds. And dried cherries. Look at that. I'll be able to make some nice muffins and some cakes and stuff with all those nuts and cherries. I appreciate it, Georgia, or Boulder City. I really do. I didn't expect all that, but I thank you. I appreciate it. Yum, yeah. Yep, those are all good for you. Hey, Jody. No, I'm up to 21. Yeah, it's very nice somebody to send you something like that because nuts and dried cherries are not cheap. I probably couldn't afford to buy that. That's for sure. April says, I just had toast, jelly, and chia seeds. It sounds good. I love toast and jelly. I've never tried putting chia seeds on it, but says I can't see blooming, and I did check my personal bin to see if I did it by accident. No. Blooming is in Danny's live right now, Southern Ideas, talking about what he did yesterday and all this kind of stuff. So they're all in there to see what's going on. Everybody's curious to know what's going on. No, I still got half apple pie in there, Gladys. It's good, but I tell you, if I had room in my freezer, it would go up there for sure. Oh, Jody says my mom has a walnut tree. I don't have any trees in my yard that produce anything to eat. Yeah, roasted pecans are real good if you season them. Sprinkle a little bit of sugar and even salt, maybe mix it up and roast them a little bit. They're real good. Connie says, okay, 10-4, I will stay clear. Yeah, I hope I'm not talking too loud. I have a tendency to get kind of close to the and I'm getting a cramp in my leg of all times to get a cramp. I have a tendency to get close to the screen so I so I can read my chat, and then I have a tendency to start talking loud, like people can't hear me. So if I start getting too loud, tell me I need to tone it down a little bit. Can hear you clearly. It's good. Okay. You're cool, my friend. Thank you, Gladys. Yeah, I figured Danny thought I'd come in, get in chat, and start really arguing with him and all that stuff, but I wasn't falling for that. And I know he asked point blank if he blocked anybody. That if he did, he didn't mean to. But I guess he meant yesterday, and he'd already had me blocked for several days. But then he said no, he didn't. But I wasn't going to argue with him. I just closed it out and got out of it. Gladys is cool. Yeah, Gladys is cool. Her and her wooden Indian. Like I said, I'm going to have to find Gladys a wooden Indian and send it to her. I've been trying to get it uploaded all day, Gladys. Hopefully I will get it uploaded in just a few minutes. Or when my live ends, hopefully that one will be finished uploading. And I uploaded it this morning, but part of it was blank. And I don't know why. So what I had to do was make it private. And then I put the video back in my view editor. And I had to end up cutting off just a tiny bit of the beginning of it. And then I changed it around and then started uploading it again, which it's doing right now. So hopefully I'll have it up sometime this evening. Martha, well, happy Sunday to you too from Texas. Glad you could make my live this afternoon. Make sure it's a man Indian. I will. I'm not going to send you a female Indian, Gladys. I caught fish when I did my video the other day. I caught 3 of them. I haven't been fishing since then. Really, you make a walnut pie like you do a pecan pie? I never knew that. Basil is really healthy for you. I can regulate blood sugar, bring down blood pressure. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I use a lot of basil in pasta sauces and spaghetti, lasagna, stuff like that. So that's why I went ahead and made some pesto to use up some of the basil. And I've got to go out there and harvest the rest of it and put it in my dehydrator and dry it so I can store it in jars. I mean, I can't believe the way my basil grew this year. I don't think I've ever grown lemon basil. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Glad to have you in chat. I know, I love to smell it. Let me run check on it. I don't know if it's quit loading yet. I'll be right back, y'all. Yep, it's up and running. I hope everybody can see it all right this time. I didn't want to take time to check to see. Who was it said that it was up and running in here? Oh, Connie says it was up. Can you see it okay, Connie? Because I put it up twice earlier, but the beginning of it was blank. It showed a black screen. So I had to take those down and re-upload it, which I've just re-uploaded it. So I'm hoping this one you can see it. Connie says, yes, it looks great, clear as a bell. Good. I've been hassling with that most of the day today. I'm glad it's finally up. Just part of the very beginning where I first started painting the plaques was cut out. And you see me now come in where one side is already painted and I'm having to repaint the other side, I think. Something like that anyway. Hi, Annie Watson. How are you today? Glad to have you in my chat. Put fresh leaves in hot water. What are we putting? Holiday. I like it. Cut up in salad, eggs, and never had. Yeah, basil tea is pretty good if you've got the right kind of basil. Now, there's several different types of basil, and I don't remember the name of the basil that's good for the tea. But from what I understand, each different type of basil has a little bit of a different taste. I always thought for a long time they were all exactly the same, but evidently they're not. Gladys says, can you paint a Playboy? Oh my goodness. Somebody needs to send you a subscription for a whole year to Playboy magazine. Or is that the one that would have the boys in it, the Playboy or the Playgirl? I don't know. I don't even know if they have a Playboy and a Playgirl anymore. Holy basil, yeah, that's the one. And mine is not, I don't think mine is the holy basil that I got planted this year. So I haven't made any tea with it. I don't know what the difference is in the taste of it, or if there is any difference. Do you happen to know, April, if there's a difference, what kind of difference there is in the different tea? Just wanted to laugh. Oh. You get all kind of laughs, Gladys. April says I blend the whole lemon skin and all the frozen blueberries and add water. Yum, it's cool and good. I bet, because the strawberries and the watermelon is good like that. That watermelon, I don't even know what I called it now. The watermelon drink that I made, that was so good. And I've still got cubes of it frozen in my freezer, so I can take it out and put it in a glass, pour 7-Up in it, and have my drink all over again. Purple basil. I don't think I've ever grown purple basil. Yeah, that's what I understand. Each basil has a little bit of a different taste. And they say holy basil is the one that's good to make the tea out of. Oh no, Annie, I'm sorry to hear that. You're scared. You're scared because you're going to have spinal surgery tomorrow, or spinal cord surgery tomorrow. Well, just leave it up to God, Annie. I was scared to death when I went in with my back and neck surgery, because they gave me 50% chance, they said, of coming out walking, 50% chance of coming out in a wheelchair, which I thought was pretty bad odds myself. But I went in, had my surgery, and I walked out. Now, I was fine. Right after I had surgery that afternoon, I was up walking down the hall. So I feel blessed. I had a really good surgeon. I had the best. And I had the good Lord above watching over me, that's for sure. Gladys says, I can't wait for you to make cookies. I'm going to beg. I don't know when I'll be making any more cookies. There's Boulder City. I just showed your gift that you sent, and you weren't here to see it. I mean, you know what it is, but I mean, yeah, I waited for a half hour to give time for everybody to get in, and I said at least I wanted you to be in, but I went ahead and showed it, and I said just as sure as I show it, you're going to show up, and you have. I want to thank you for that gift of walnuts, almonds, and dried cherries. That was really sweet of you to send those. And I know that cost something. I couldn't buy that. Yeah, it's too expensive. I could not have bought it myself. Yeah, everybody needs to pray for her spinal surgery tomorrow. We'll all pray and hope you come through it fine and you have no problems. I was the same way when I went in and had cataract surgery. I mean, I didn't realize I had cataracts, but I never wore glasses when I was younger. But then later, when I hit my 30s, I started having trouble with my eyes. I couldn't read all the little street signs. So I went in and got my eyes checked, and I needed glasses. And then a few years later, I went in and had my eyes checked again, and they changed it. My eyes were reversed. I could see close up then, but I couldn't see distance. First time, I could see distance, I couldn't see close up. Well, the third time I went in, she said, glasses are not going to help this time. We've got to do surgery. You've got to have the cataracts removed. I said, well, I didn't know I had them. She said, yeah, you've got them, and they're pretty bad. And I was scared to death. I'll tell you, I was scared when I went in and had the the first eye done. But after I went in and the surgery was over, let me pick this up. I'm dropping everything in the floor. But after I went in and had my surgery, I felt like a fool for being so scared. I said, well, that was not a big deal. And I drove myself back to the doctor myself the next day for my checkup. I had no problems. I waited a month, went in and had the second eye done. And now I don't need glasses at all, which I am so thankful for. Because I know a lot of people, when they have cataract surgery, they either need reading glasses or glasses for distance or glasses for something. And I'm fortunate enough that I don't need glasses for anything. I see distance, I see close up, I have no problem. And there's a little buddy at the door. He's scratching at the door wanting in to get food, so let me let him in. There's your food right down there. Sometimes I feel like it's with little buddy, it's food upon request. Because anytime during the day he gets hungry, he'll come to the door and start scratching on the door. I'll let him in, he'll eat. After he eats, he's ready to go back out because the weather's so nice. He likes being outside. What's going on with Annie? I missed some of the chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to put your faith in the good Lord above and your doctor, your surgeon. That's all you can do. Well, I kept putting off getting my eyes checked that last time because I was afraid of what kind of glasses I was going to end up with. And she told me, she said, my eye doctor said, well, we can give you glasses, but they look like bottle tops. And you're not going to be able to see very good out of them, and you're not going to want to wear them. So she said, I'm not even going to do that. She said, we're going to do the surgery. And I'm glad she did. And I'm glad I had my spinal surgery about 20 years ago because I came out of it fine. I had injuries in my neck and lower back that I had to have surgeries for. I still deal with a lot of stuff because I've re-injured myself a couple of times since. But I'm doing good. That's fine, Martha. Medina. Just listen. Medina. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I know we all go through some kind of storm, don't we, April? We all have our ups and downs and our pitfalls and our storms that we got to find our way through. Annie Watson says, I watched a video and the needle is 5 inches long. Well, you don't need to be watching videos. I never watched any surgical videos before I went and had my surgeries. I probably really would have freaked out. And just because they do something to one patient doesn't mean they're going to do that to you, you know? I mean, you're a different case. So you don't know how they're going to do in your situation. I don't know that they use needles at all on me except to put me to sleep. Because they had to just literally cut into my spine to take out the damaged parts. I had crushed vertebrae in my neck, ruptured disc up there, and then I had a ruptured disc in my lower back. And they did both surgeries in 1 week. I was in the hospital. I went in on Monday, had one surgery on Tuesday. I had the other surgery on Thursday, and they sent me home on Friday. Yeah, all surgeries are different. I mean, you may think they're exactly the same, but there's always different situations. There's different ways they do the surgery for each individual case. So you don't know how they're going to do yours. You will be awake? Oh my goodness. Well, I don't understand. What kind of surgery are they going to do on you that you're going to be awake? Because they knocked me out. I didn't know anything from the time I went to sleep in my room till I woke up in my room after surgery. No, I was in recovery, I think. And I remember I was so cold. They had to start wrapping me with warm blankets because I was so cold after surgery. Oh, little buddy wants back out. Let me go let him out. I don't want him to scratch on my wooden door inside. Come on, little buddy. He does that off and on all day. He'll come in, he'll eat, then he wants back out, and I let him out, and then an hour or so later he'll come scratching, wanting more. So he eats off and on all day. Well, thank you, Holiday. Enjoy your kids. Yep, just like a man, eat and run. But it's a beautiful day. He wants to be outside. Now, if it was freezing cold or if it was 109 degrees out there, he'd want in the house because if it was hot, he'd be cooling his belly off, and if it was cold, he'd be warming his belly. Yeah, they had to go in my neck and clean out all the ruptured, crushed bone. And they took bone from my hip and replaced the vertebrae and stuff in my neck. Oh my God, I cannot imagine that, Connie. You don't respond. Well, you know what? That sounds like my granddaughter, because the first time my son took her to the dentist, they were going to clip part of her gum for some reason, and they never got to do it because they gave her the anesthesia and she was wide awake. They couldn't knock her out, so she got up and came home. And I told my son, I said, they didn't need to do that anyway. And I showed him my gum, and my gum is the same way my granddaughter's is. And I've never had surgery on it. Okay, April. Thank you for that. I've tried many different eye drops. Well, you know what? The doctor gave, because I have so many allergies, they prescribed Pataday eye drops, and those things are great. And I used them because the doctor would give me a prescription for them. But now you don't need a prescription for them anymore, so my insurance won't pay for them. And they cost a little bit more than what I am getting. But I asked the drugstore, I said, now if you're out of Pataday and somebody came in here needing eye drops, what is the next thing to Pataday that you would recommend? And he said, Zaditor. So this is what I get now. Zaditor, I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's as good as Pataday. So if I can't get Zaditor, I get Pataday. But if they have this, I get it because it's a little bit cheaper. And you know, when it was a prescription, it was like $100 and some. And now you get it for like $18, $19 for a little tiny bottle like that. I've never tried that, Annie. Those Lastine, I don't think I've ever tried those. And I knew I've used other eye drops off the counter, and I can't even tell I put them in my eyes. They don't work with me. But these are good for people with allergies, either Zaditor or Pataday. Because it's almost like it's an antibiotic or something. And it clears the allergy or the whatever you're out, like pollen, it clears it out of your eyes and clears up the irritation. Yeah, Annie, mine would too usually, but then they put Pataday on the counter. And you know, anything that you can buy off the counter, your insurance will not pay for. If the doctor can't write a prescription for it, then they don't pay for it. So my insurance will not pay for Pataday anymore since it was put on the counter. Dry eye syndrome is also annoying. Yeah, it is. And I'm just a tiny bit allergic to the lenses they put in my eyes when they did surgery. But you know what my allergy doctor told me? He said it was just a slight irritation, and you can help that with just your eye drops. So that's why I use these two different types of eye drop, one or the other, because I need to put eye drops in every day, like every morning at least once, to clear my eyes out from that irritation. But my allergy doctor said, well, if it comes to the fact with a slight irritation versus being blind, I think you're better off with the slight irritation. I said, yeah, that's true. I'll take the slight irritation. Thank you, Gladys. Mr. Prime Channel, hello. I don't think I've seen you in chat before. Dry ice, and you've been in here for a little bit, and I just now noticed your name pop up. Welcome to our chat. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, keeps the pupil lubricated. But yeah, but the Pataday and the Zaditor are the two best eye drops I've found for my eyes anyway. Yep, that's true. Any of these things can interact with other medicines. Oh, so you were a silent viewer, Mr. Prime. Well, I'm glad you came into chat. I know I've got quite a few silent viewers, but I'm always tickled to death when some of those silent viewers finally pop into chat and start talking with us. I'm from Ireland, so different time zone, probably why I haven't caught it live. Wow, from Ireland. How's the weather in Ireland today? I think you're the first person that we've had or have had from Ireland. I mean, I've got them from the Ukraine, Vietnam, other countries, but I think you're the first one from Ireland. Yeah, that's the way it's been here. I mean, it got a little warm mid-afternoon, but not hot. So it's been a nice day, but we do need rain. We desperately need rain. It's been so dry. And there's Peter. Hi, Peter. I was wondering if you were going to make it today. It's raining here. Oh, we need it here. Send me some rain, Peter. My yard is getting so dry again. We need rain. We got a good rain like once a week for 2 weeks. And now it's been like 2 weeks with no rain. And it's been up in the 80s, close to 90 during the day. So yeah, we're needing some more rain. Oh wow, Anna's mobile home life said it's 45 and windy here. That's cold. Well, this is Texas. It don't really get cold till around December, January in Texas. This is the only place I've ever lived that I see people running around in December and January in shorts and flip-flops. I mean, the first time I flew into DFW Airport from North Carolina, it was cold and snowy weather there. So I had this big fur coat on and I was bundled all up, got out of the airplane, walked into the terminal, and here's people running around in shorts and flip-flops. And here I am with this great big old fur coat trying to keep warm. Anna's mobile home life says, I've been cold all day. I bet if it's 45 degrees. I mean, it gets cold here, but we don't have real long winters in Texas. I mean, we have cold spells, as I call it. But it does get cold when it gets cold. And it's I am a mess. I type and process medical records for a living, and it is my job to see, and I wear trifocals, cataracts, and 3 types of arthritis, and I do it, I have to laugh at myself. Yeah, I opened the box, Boulder City, before I went live just to make sure there was not a note or something in it telling me not to let anyone know who sent it. So I figured it was okay to let everybody know that Boulder is the one that sent me the nuts and the dried cherries. And I really appreciate it. Yeah, when it gets cold in Texas, it does like, what was it, last year or year before? We had a week-long snowstorm. And then after the snowstorm went away, the weather was great again. But oh, it was cold that week. The electricity tried to go off, and what the power company did was alternate the electricity. They would turn it on for an hour and turn it off for an hour. And then they would rotate areas that had it at one particular hour. So they had enough power to supply everybody with enough power in their homes to at least keep water hot, keep their freezers frozen, get their heaters running enough to warm the house. And then it would cut off, and by the time your house got really cold again, it would kick back on so you could heat your house up again. So that made it a lot better. Yeah, Texas cold sounds like an Irish summer. I remember the first year we moved out here, it was kind of chilly in North Carolina, and we drove. And the closer we got to Texas, the warmer it got. So I started taking off layers, and got almost to Texas, and I had to finally take my jacket off. And it was like 75, 80 degrees in Texas in February when we got here. And I says, wow, I never really would have thought about the difference in the weather between Texas and North Carolina. I just figured if it was cold in North Carolina, it was cold everywhere. But you realize it's not. Oh, wow. You were without lights or water for 4 weeks that year? Well, I usually have water even if the electricity is out because I have city water, even though I'm out of the city limits. So I don't pump my own water. So unless my line freezes, I've got plenty of water. And my lines don't usually freeze. And I've learned to keep candles or these oil lamps around the house just in case I need them so I don't have to constantly burn a candle. If the electricity is off at night and I need light, I'll just light one of the oil lamps. Well, like I said, it made it easier on me because they alternated. They had electricity on for 1 hour, off an hour, on an hour, off an hour. And that's the way it was the whole week. So I was never completely without electricity. Okay, Gladys. We'll see in a little bit when you get through with the nurse. Oh, the city's main line. Well, yeah, now if that was to happen, I'd be without water, but ours didn't freeze, thank goodness. And there's Susan Proctor. Hello, Susan. Already showed my gift, Susan. I got a bag of, great big bag of roasted almonds. I got a bag of walnuts and a bag of dried cherries, which I know cost a fortune that Boulder City sent me. Susan says I worked up a sweat. Yeah, I thought about getting some some of the solar lights that you can put out, or just run them off of one of those panels that you can charge up. Or, they sell those light bulbs that they say if your electricity goes off, those bulbs will still burn. They got some kind of battery storage or something in them, I guess. I don't know. I've never bought one, so I don't know if they really work. But I know I've priced them and they're pretty pricey. And he says, I felt like I lived in the olden days that year. Yeah, I've never needed a generator here, but in North Carolina, everybody has generators because they know when those hurricanes hit, they're going to be without power. And sometimes it's for a week or 2 weeks at a time. Yeah. Small city bad water lines, they will freeze easy. Well, ours is all underground. But since and my water meter did freeze one year, but they put in new water meters, and it seems like they're down lower in that case that they put them in. And mine's below ground level. And then it's got that dome iron cover over it. So mine have not frozen since they've done that. And my lines don't do not usually freeze. And if it's extremely cold, I'll turn my water tap on just a little bit and let the line drip, just as a precaution so it won't freeze. And I don't know if that's helped any or whether it would just not freeze anyway, but I said I'd rather pay a little bit more on my water bill than to pay a plumber to repair lines or something if they freeze and break. Oh my God, Connie. A man threw himself on a big electrical power conductor and our lights went out for 3 days. My God, was that the way he committed suicide or what? Yeah, especially if they are on the outside wall. And I said, I know with my central heat, a lot of my heat I know goes under the house, and that helps keep my lines from freezing. So I rationalize, if a little bit of heat goes under the house and keeps my water lines from freezing, I can live with that. As long as it still keeps it warm inside. I know the people that first put this place here, they had the lines wrapped with that electrical tape. But over the years, with different plumbing jobs they've had to do, I noticed all of it wasn't working anyway. And I had to unplug it one time because the water heater started dripping. And it was dripping right on that electrical outlet that that water tape was plugged into. So that wasn't good. I think the guy just disconnected the line to that little outlet because I wasn't using that tape anyway. That was terrible, Connie. Oh my God. And how he must have suffered before he died after doing that. Oh. Wow, everybody's lines busted, huh? Well, I might do some more. I was just up one night and I was bored and I was didn't want to watch TV, didn't want to watch videos, and I said, "Well, everybody's been wanting me to sing, so I just all of a sudden went live and started singing. I didn't plan it. It was late in the evening, and I figured nobody's even going to pay attention to me being on there. And before I knew it, I had like 10 people in there watching. Well, that's good, Susan. You're on the inner side, so hopefully your pipes will never freeze. I could hear him screaming blocks away. Just horrible. I can imagine. I just could not imagine the pain he felt after that happened. That's one reason they warn people. It's dangerous for you to try to commit suicide. I mean, now what if he'd have lived? He'd have probably been so messed up that he would have wished he was dead. And these people that jump off buildings, they're all are people that jump off of 3-story high buildings and survive. And I'd be one of them. You know, if I wanted to die and I jump off a 3-story building, I'd probably break every bone in my body and I'd suffer for the rest of my life, but I'd be alive because I fell. So I'm a scaredy cat. I'm not trying anything like that. Exactly, Susan. You just injure yourself, and you could injure yourself in a way that you put yourself in a wheelchair or worse, but you're still alive, and then you got to suffer for another 30, 40 years, you know? I'm not doing that. Okay, Jody, enjoy your company. Yeah, I'd be one of those that I'd end up with brain injuries or something to where I'd be alive, and but I wouldn't be good for nothing for the rest of my life. I could imagine it was horrible, Connie. I used to say that I was struck by lightning when I was about 7 years old. And I remember it. I mean, I wasn't actually struck by lightning. It didn't actually hit my body, but it struck close enough to the ground to me that the shock from it knocked me out. I mean, I blacked completely out. And it was raining. We were running to go to the apartment where we lived because we were in the playground. And we were running along trying to get to the back home before it just downpoured, you know. And all of a sudden, lightning flashed. I saw this bright light in my face. That's all I could see. It was like somebody put the sun right in my face. And then I blacked out. The next thing I knew, I was laying on the ground in the pouring down rain, and my oldest brother, Billy, the one that moved to Tucson, was slapping me in the face, you know, like this. Wake up, sis, wake up, wake up. And I woke up, and I didn't know what happened. And then I remember when I did get up, I remembered that bright flash that looked like the sun right in my face. And then I went, you know, I just went black after that. Yeah, people used to kid me and say, well, if you were struck by lightning, you wouldn't be alive today. I said, well, I didn't mean I was actually hit by it. It struck close enough to me that like a shock or something from it knocked me out. I mean, my brother saw it. My two older brothers saw it. And my younger brother Mike saw it because they were we were all together that day. But it didn't hurt me. It just knocked me out. Yeah, I know a guy that lives here in this town. He was on top of a mobile home. I mean, he didn't hit a conductor, I don't think, but he was on top of a mobile home helping them move it in. And he hit one of the live wires. I don't know why there was a live wire up there, but he hit something that was live, and it knocked him off that roof, burned his feet. I mean, it burnt parts of his body, put him in the hospital, but he survived. I can imagine you were crying if that hail was hitting you in the head. Hail falling like at a dead fall does not feel good when it hits you, especially on your head. Yeah, I bet you that guy is real careful, and he may not even get on the top of a house anymore to help move them in. I have no idea. But I remember when that happened years ago. Now y'all know what happened to me. I've had a really hard time getting motivated today, just feel lazy. Well, there's days like that, Susan. We all have days like that. I'd have been like that if I hadn't had so many things come up that I had to deal with, like that video for one. A few screws loose, maybe. I heard that committing suicide was against the law. Suppose you had to do a jail time after failed attempt. Yeah. That would be my luck, Sharon. I'd try to commit suicide. Everybody would know it, and I'd survive, and they'd put me in the jail. I'd do prison time because I tried to commit suicide. Oh, your friend that was coming from Canada isn't coming now? Oh, well, maybe they'll plan another trip. Well, I know from the Bible, committing suicide is against the Bible. It's against God's laws because they say that there's no way a person will go to heaven if they commit suicide. I don't know why that's true, but that's what the Bible says. And I've worried about that some because I know dear people that were close to me that have committed suicide and succeeded. And I've wondered, where their poor soul ended up. But there's some really good people out there that committed suicide. And they may have committed suicide because they couldn't deal with the pain or suffering that they were going through from their health problems. And in those cases, I think God would be lenient. And I think he would let you be in heaven. I mean, I'm sure. Susan said that's also one thing that really kept me from it long ago. Because you hear about like these mercy killings, as they call them, on TV, on the news. You hear about where somebody might assist a person that's in hospice, or maybe they're in some kind of a care center and they can't do anything. They can't get out of bed. They can't even lift their hands. They're basically vegetables. And they beg friends or family members just to help them end it because they don't want to be here anymore. And I can kind of understand that, but I don't know if I could ever help someone do that. I just don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I don't know how I would react. My writing didn't show up for me. Okay, now it did. I don't know. I think about the only wild woman in here is Gladys. She still wants her wooden Indian. Against the law. My brother's done himself in front of me, and we had him on life support, and the police was there waiting to take him if he was to recover. He didn't. We had to take him off. I'm sorry to hear that, Connie. That's so sad. I couldn't imagine seeing my brother do something like that. I've got 5 brothers, and we've had our ups and downs, but I can't imagine what it would be like to know that my brother tried to commit suicide and he ended up on life support. And then to know the cops were waiting to take him to jail if he recovered. I mean, isn't that pretty bad? Connie's borderline. LOL. Trying to make Connie a wild woman. Oh, we got a few semi-wild women in here. Well, you were trying to make Connie a wild woman, LOL. We were all of us wild women were trying to rub off of the semi-tame women, turn them into wild women. Yeah. Well, I've tried to encourage her to go with her daughter because she said her daughter invited her to go with her. And I said, well, if you've never been, go with your daughter at least one time. Experience it with your daughter. You will be so glad you did. You'll have a lot of fun and you'll never forget it. And you know, you've made a good memory with your daughter. Yes, pain can make you do a lot of things sometimes that you would not normally do. You just want to end the pain. And sometimes that seems like to that person that's the only way to do it, is just to end everything. And that's sad. I mean, I hate to hear of anybody doing that. Oh, Lord, Anna. And the son overdosed right after that because he missed his mom. That's so bad. So sad. Well, I'm glad you kept fighting too, Susan. I'm glad you're still here. You're a sweetheart of a person. Yeah, I told Connie I never forget the first time I ever went. My reaction, oh my God. And that's what I thought to myself. I just looked up at that stage and I thought to myself, oh my God. Like, I don't believe those young guys are up there dancing like that. I mean, they were having the time of their life. They were just young college students. They were probably anywhere from 18 to maybe 25 years of age. And they all looked good. And they were just having the time of their life. Yeah, it'll get better, Annie. I know right after my neck and back, right after my neck and back injury, I used to have headaches so bad. Oh my God, my head would hurt so bad I just wanted to cut my head off. And my mom was here one week on vacation, and I got an ice pack out of the freezer and wrapped it in a towel, put it behind my neck, and then sit in a recliner and just laid back. And every time that ice pad would start getting a little warm, I'd switch it out for another one, put that one back in the freezer. And I did that for hours. And my mom says, Linda, you're going to freeze your neck. I said, that's the whole idea. because once I get it frozen enough, it'll quit hurting. And sure enough, after doing it for about 4 hours, my head quit hurting. But I told her that's the only way I can get it to stop, is just to literally freeze my neck. I could take any type of painkiller, it would not work. And it went on for years after my surgery. Till finally, I don't know if it was going to the chiropractor or what it was, but my head quit hurting. I don't get those really bad headaches anymore, but I get pains in other parts of my body. But they don't last like the headaches did. And my doctor at one point said that I was experiencing a headache just like people that have migraine headaches had, because sometimes it would almost make me throw up. It hurt so bad. But yet it was not a migraine. You get excruciating pain in your neck, Annie or Anna. It might be from pinched nerves in your spine. I know that's what mine was from. Yeah, I have too. Yep, my head would hurt so bad, I just would, go in the bathroom and throw up. I didn't throw up very often, but there was times I did. And I thought that was a never-ending thing. I didn't think my headaches was ever going to stop. But finally, like I said, they did stop. I get pains in other part of my body, but a lot of times I can move around and adjust my spine and do different things, and the pain will stop. Just like that day I was doing too much in the yard, and I woke up the next morning and I could barely put my weight on my right leg. It would hurt so bad up in my hip area that I couldn't walk hardly. And I went to that clinic because it was on the weekend, and they said, we can't give you anything. We can't give you a prescription. We can't give you a shot. We don't have a diagnosis. I thought to myself, well, why is the clinic here? They said, you just need to go to the emergency room. Well, I didn't. Do you know they wheeled me out to my car in a wheelchair because I couldn't even walk to my car? And I drove home. Drove home, come in the house, and when I got online, some of these, I don't remember who it was, told me to lay down and put my legs up because I was experiencing problems with the sciatic nerve. And I did that and it worked. It helped. And after a few days, I finally was able to walk around with no pain. Yeah, that'll cause pain, Anna. I mean, if you've ever had herniated disc in your neck or lower back, there's different times it will still cause you pain. And your hips are out of whack. Yeah, that helps too. But you know what I did? I laid down in the floor, and I've got this little square hassock that I have in the living room, and it was just the right height to be knee height. When I laid down, I put my legs up on it, and it held my legs straight up, and I bent my knees, my lower part of my legs over the top of it. And it relieved enough pressure from my lower back after laying there several times for a long time that the pain finally eased up. So I don't remember who suggested doing that. I think they said they had been a nurse or something, but I'm glad I took their advice and did that. My older brother has a lot of problems with sciatic nerve. He said there's times that he's in the bed for a week or so at a time because he can't walk. I don't know if he ever thought about putting his knees up or legs up like that. Susan says, I have a bulging disc in my neck. Yeah, those discs can cause a lot of problems. Yeah, I've heard that, Susan. I've never tried putting the pillow between my knees, but it sounds like a good idea. Oh, goodness, Anna. Well, I hear a pop in my neck sometimes when mine gets out, and I'll turn my head or go like that, and I'll hear a pop, and then it's fine because I've lined it back up. But ever since my surgery, I have a problem lifting my head like this. There's only about that far as I can go. And when I was in the eye doctor's office one time, I don't think she knew about my back and neck surgeries, but she said, "You need to put your head back, put your head back. Your head's not back far enough to get the eye drops in there." Well, with my neck surgery, I couldn't put my neck back, my head back any further. I mean, that's as far as it would go. Anna, that could possibly be true because my chiropractor told me, or he asked me, "Have you ever been in car wrecks?" I said, "Yeah, back many years ago." He said, "Well, that was probably it." He said, "People don't realize it. You can be in a car wreck, and even though you don't think you got hurt at the time, it probably jammed your spine in places to where over the years it finally kept getting worse and worse until finally you ended up with a ruptured disc. And you don't realize it started from that car wreck 20 or 30 years before. So that could possibly happen." He said, "Yeah, even if you get hurt in an accident and they pay you a settlement for maybe a broken leg or whatever, pay your medical bills, they don't realize that 20 or 30 years down the road, you're still going to have a problem from that accident. You just don't know it because it affects your spine." "Oh no, Anna, you were pinned under a car and never was checked." Can't imagine. Looks to me like they would have taken you to the hospital and done x-rays and all kind of tests to make sure you were okay. Yeah, that's terrible. Being pinned under a car, I don't understand that. That would be the first thing usually these medics do when they come with an ambulance is check you over, put you in that ambulance, and take you to the hospital. My goodness, you still have pieces of gravel in your back? I was loving on my baby, sissy. Hmm. Yeah, I was in an accident in my 20s. I was coming home from work one night. That was from Wilmington, North Carolina. I was driving from Wilmington going to Adkins, my hometown, which is only about 20 miles away. But it was on 421 highway, and that was a truck route for these 18 wheelers. And it was raining, dark, and I was rounding this curve. So, and as best I could see, there was nobody in front of me going down the road. But I rounded this curve, and all of a sudden I got out of the curve, straightened up, and all of a sudden lights flashed on. These 5 Marines were in a Mustang. The Mustang had stalled. They couldn't get it started. So they left it sitting in the highway, in the driving lane, with their lights off. The only time they turned the lights on is when they could see a car behind them. Like me, when I come around that corner or curve, and they could see that I was coming toward them, they flashed the lights on. Well, I slammed on brakes as hard as I could, but I didn't know it at the time. My brake line busted, and I slammed right into the rear end of their car. I was banged up and bruised up, but other than that, I didn't think I was hurt. But I think right there is what started the problem with my neck and lower back, was that injury back in my 20s. Because, they took me to the hospital and checked me out, but then they sent me home because I was okay. I was just bruised up. I was black and blue for a while. And those Marines tried to take me to court because they were at fault, but they were going to fight it. They took me to court and said that I rear-ended them, that I should be held responsible. The judge looked at him and they says, no, it don't work that way. He said, any car that stops on the highway and it's in the driving lane with 5 strappy Marines in it, it ain't her fault she hit you. You should not have been there. And he said, with 5 Marines that's been through basic camp, all that, boot camp, he said, you could have got out of that car, pushed that car off on the shoulder of the road, no problem, in just a few seconds and had it done, and you wouldn't have been hit because you wouldn't have been on the highway. So he didn't change it. He left them being at fault. And a friend of mine who owned a body shop at the time took my car in, and he got it fixed in a day. But when I went to get my car, he told me, go ahead, get in it, start it up. I walked to the car, no problem, opened that door, went to get in, sat down. My legs started shaking just like that. I could not put my foot on the gas pedal. My leg was shaking so bad. And I got out of the car. And John Ed said, what's the matter? I said, I can't do it. I said, my legs are shaking so bad I can't even put my foot on the gas pedal. He said, it's a reaction to the wreck. He said, you need to get in that car right now, start it up, because if you don't, you never will. You'll never drive again. And it was just a reflex reaction to hitting that car that, made my legs shake and I couldn't put my foot on the gas pedal. But finally, I forced myself to do it. I started the car up. I was fine after that. Oh, it was a campsite. My husband then refused medical care, no coverage then. I'm sorry, Anna. Yeah, that's true, Connie. Oh my God, you had an actual tire mark down your back? Good Lord. Yeah, everything's a money game nowadays. Medical is the same way. It's all about the money. I know when I was attacked years ago, assaulted, I ended up in the emergency room because it just so happened when I ended up in the emergency room at the hospital, there was 2 cops there that had just been in on an arrest, and they had to tackle the guy, and one of the cops hurt his knee. Well, he was in there to get his knee checked out, and he happened to see me laying on that bed in the emergency room with my knees up. And as soon as they finished with him, he came in and started talking to me. He said, why are your legs up like that? I said, because it hurts too bad to put them down. And he asked me, well, what happened? And I told him. And I said, the guy that attacked me dislocated my lower back. And I said, at first I couldn't even walk. And I said, now the pain is so bad when I straighten my legs out, I can't stand it. And he said, well, did they give you any pain medicine? I said, no. Well, he immediately went out in the hall, grabbed a nurse, and I could hear him talking to her because they were right outside the door. He said, why have you not given that lady some pain medicine? Oh, because the nurse said she doesn't have insurance. She can't pay for it. Oh my God, that cop come unglued. He said, lady, you need to get in there right now and give her some pain medication. She don't have to pay for this. Her assailant is going to pay for it because we've got him in custody and he will pay this bill. Oh, she come in there lickety-split and gave me a shot for pain. And I didn't feel any pain. And the cop took me on to the police station after that to file charges and for him to take pictures of me and, get it on record that I was assaulted. And they put a restraining order against the guy. He couldn't come near me probably for the rest of his life, which is good. But yeah, she was just letting me lay there in pain because, I didn't put down on the paperwork that I had insurance. So she assumed I couldn't pay the bill, so she wasn't going to give me nothing. And I always thought it was against the law for doctors, hospitals, emergency rooms, or any of that to refuse treatment to a patient because they don't have money or insurance. But I guess she figured that was something I could do without. I didn't have to have pain medicine. I could just lay there and hurt. Oh, well. Yeah, it's scary. It's all about the money everywhere you look. Every phase of life is all about the money. And then they denied your disability. Well, did you ever get the disability, Anna? Aren't you the one that has been trying to get on disability and they kept denying you and you were still going to try or something? Did you ever get? Yeah, Susan said it should be, but it depends on the politics of the hospital also. Yeah. Well, I guess that nurse figured that they would give me treatment as long as it didn't include giving me anything. I mean, I was in the bed laying there. I guess they figured that was treatment enough. Yeah, it's all about having the right paperwork when you have to go. A lot of times if they deny you, if you get the right paperwork from the right doctor that says you are 100% disabled and you need to be on disability, then when you go in front of the judge, if you have to, usually he will give it to you. But you got to have the paperwork to back it up. And I can't imagine if Anna applied for disability and if she had paperwork from a doctor, how they could deny it. I mean, well, there's Lady Gladys back again. Hello, Gladys. Welcome back. I don't know. It's a crazy mess. It looks almost like if you go on disability, it's all about who you know. I know my friend, her husband had been on disability for many years, but she had arthritis and a lot of other problems. And it got to the place where, she was older than me and she was getting older and she just couldn't work anymore. And she tried to get disability. They denied it. She tried again. They denied it. Finally, she got paperwork from a doctor and she went before the judge. And he was going to deny it. And he said, As long as your mind is clear, you're thinking clear, you can make clear decisions, you have a good thought process and all that. He said, you're not disabled, because there's a lot of jobs you can do sitting down that requires your mind. And you know what she told him? She says, I agree with you, but there's no jobs like that out there. She said, every job that you go to, even the office jobs, requires you to lift a 50-pound box of files or do something physical that she couldn't do. And finally, after her arguing and telling the judge off, he gave her her disability. And that's true, because after my surgeries, the doctor had limited me to no lifting or straining and that type of stuff. And that's what got me to go to college to study computer science, is to get me an office job or something that was not going to be physical. And that's what I ran into. Every company I applied for required you to not only be able to do the office work, but you had to lift 50-pound boxes of files to move from one location to the other. Even the city jobs in the offices required it. And I turned them down because I said, I can't do it. And I said, it's not worth it to me to put myself in a wheelchair to lift your 50-pound box. So I didn't do it. But they don't look at it that way. They feel like if you can get up and you can walk around, you think clear, you can work. They don't realize that you could sit there for an hour or two and do your job, or you could stand there for an hour or two and do your job. But after that, you got to sit down, you got to rest your back because you're in so much pain you can't do it anymore. They don't look at it that way because they haven't been in that situation, so they don't understand it. They can't relate to what you go through. It takes another person with, like Anna says, nerve damage or spinal problems, all that kind of stuff, to understand what you deal with. Oh, there's Spencer Love. Hi there. Are you new to my channel? I don't remember seeing you before. I may have, but you're very welcome here. I know they set poverty levels at certain levels, and you could be $5 off from that level and they won't help you at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know they got to set guidelines and, they got to put a line somewhere. But I don't know. I often thought maybe they should be a little lenient, a little way, one way or the other. Because, I mean, $5 too much can make a world of difference. Connie said, yes, my office was required me to lift 75 pounds, and I had to go to an attorney and do it under the American Disabilities Act. And now my doctor wrote a note and they can't lift more than 5 pounds. Yeah. And a lot of times if they know that before they hire you, they won't even hire you. And I applied for one insurance company in Fort Worth one time. Good job. Paid good. I went in and I was interviewed. The woman wanted to hire me, but she said, I got to show you because you've already said you got a back injury, and I understand that, and we'll still hire you. And we didn't used to have to do this because they said, we used to have an office boy in here that would move file boxes around for the ladies when they needed to be moved. But we had a meeting and the ladies decided they'd rather be paid more an hour than for them to take their pay and pay the office boy. So they did that. They changed it so the women lifted and moved the boxes themselves, so they made more money. And it was a 50-pound box of files. So I turned the job down. And that was right after, my surgery and everything. And I said, I can't do it. Oh, won't you just try? I said, do you realize just trying might put me back in the hospital? Because she looked at me and she says, oh, the world of possibilities. Because with my education by then and everything else, she knew I was a good hire. She wanted me in that company. Our hospital got sued, and Indigent Fund now starts at $75,000 for family of 3 to get help. Good Lord, I would never in my wildest dreams ever make $75,000 a year. And I had 2 kids to raise. I was always stuck at minimum wage jobs most of the time, except for 1 or 2 that were just temporary jobs after I got my college education, which paid good money, but they were temporary. So when I got the job done, I didn't have a job anymore. They hired someone else in that they paid less money that didn't have to have the education that I had. April says, oh my goodness, the shower felt good. I bet it did. How do you make a fried bologna sandwich? I put a little bit of oil in my frying pan. I throw that slice of bologna in there. And then I put some mustard on my bread, and I throw that fried bologna right on my bread. And that's my sandwich. I don't know how anybody else makes it. But that's how I make my fried bologna sandwich. I just put spicy mustard on mine. I don't usually put cheese on my bologna. I just put bologna and my mustard in my bread, and that's it. Now, if it's a ham sandwich, I'll put cheese on it. Now, other people in the chat, they may have other ways of making a bologna sandwich, but a fried bologna sandwich, but that's the way I've always done mine. Plain and simple. Even eggs. Well, I guess they can. I mean, it's kind of like putting an egg on ham, I guess. But I wouldn't do that because I don't like bologna that well. And I have to burn mine almost black to put it on a sandwich to eat it. Gladys says, Linda, show it sometimes, the sandwich. Yeah, but I don't even buy bologna because I don't usually like bologna. We always put ours on toast and ketchup. And see, I've never put ketchup on my bologna. I always put mustard. Just a little bit of mustard. It's really thick. And see, I don't like the real thick bologna. I like it real thin sliced. Sweet potato and baked bean sandwich. Now, I make baked bean sandwiches before. I love baked beans, and I was hungry and didn't feel like dirty in a bowl, so I just put some baked beans between 2 slices of bread, and I ate me a bean sandwich. I've done meatloaf like that. I do spaghetti like that sometimes. Susan said when I was growing up, I thought I had to have ketchup on any meat. My younger brother, when he was little, he would not eat a scrambled egg unless you put ketchup on it. He called it a bloody egg. And when Mom would ask him what he wanted for breakfast, he said bloody eggs. And that's what he meant, scrambled eggs and then a bottle of ketchup. And I've done that. I mean, I've scrambled an egg, put it on 2 pieces of bread and put ketchup in it. Put ketchup on the egg and then put the bread on top. Roast beef hash. I love roast beef hash. I don't get it very often, but I do love it. And I like to make a sandwich with that too. Now I put ketchup on that. Roast beef hash. Yeah, if I put it on a sandwich, I'll put ketchup on it. Yep, I love corned beef hash as well. I fix corned beef hash in the morning sometimes and cook my eggs on the side and eat it that way. And I like baked beans with that too. Uh, Corned beef hash, a fried egg, and baked beans on the side. That's a good breakfast. It's a good meal any time of the day. Mashed potatoes with ketchup and toast with mustard. Now, I've not seen those combinations, but to each his own. Everybody likes different things. You fry the hash brown and then crack the egg on top. Well, that sounds good. Now, I agree with you, Susan. A sandwich with roast beef is good. Gladys says, I'm hungry now. Can't do corned beef. My sauerkraut's all right. I haven't eaten in, well, let's see. I've got it in the refrigerator. See if I can find a jar. It's in here somewhere. See, there's my sauerkraut. It's doing fine. I've been thinking about taking it out and start eating it some, but I haven't. Because after you make it, you need to put it in the refrigerator. After you set it out for like 3 or 4 days, some people even leave it out 9 days for it to ferment. And then you're supposed to put it in the refrigerator. Some people even freeze it. They can put it in freezer bags and freeze it, or put it in freezer containers and freeze it. I've just got mine in the jar. Yeah, I need to fix me some sauerkraut, I guess. Either sauerkraut and sausage, or put sauerkraut on some sausage dogs or something. Tuna sandwich dipped in egg wash and fried. Weird, but good. I've not tried that. I've heard about it, but usually I make a tuna fish salad and I'll put it on my bread and I'm eating it. I don't think about frying it. I just eat it. It's gone. Just like the bananas and peanut butter. I think Elvis was the one that loved bananas and fried bananas and peanut butter sandwiches. I've never thought to fry that. I've never even thought to put peanut butter and bananas together on a sandwich. I love banana sandwiches, but I never thought to put peanut butter on it. And I said one of these times I'm going to try it, but I never have. They're slim. Won't be chatting. I'm out for supper with the kid family. Well, glad you popped in anyway. I was hoping Bloomin' would pop in. I left her a message to remind her that I was going to be live at 3, but I haven't seen her in my live chat, so she may not be feeling good. I don't know. Steak sounds good. I haven't had steak in a while. Spencer Love, hello. Just watching the time. Restaurant called Montana's Steakhouse. We had a Montana's here in Granbury for a while, but it closed up. It was here for a couple of years and then it disappeared. I thought it was a pretty good restaurant. They served a lot of food, I know that. They used to serve a chicken fried steak meal that was on it was on a real platter. It was not a regular like dinner plate. It was an oval platter type dish. And oh my God, half of it was chicken fried steak. The other half was mashed potatoes, corn, and then they brought you this great big old garden salad to eat. I always, when I went in there and ordered that, the first thing I told them as soon as I ordered it was bring me a takeout box. Because half of that always went home with me. I couldn't eat it all. But it was good. I never thought about them having a Montana's in Canada, but I guess they have them all over. It's served on a big bamboo board. I know they had a seafood restaurant here. I can't remember what they called it. But when you ordered your meal, it came in a great big round tray, serving tray, and it was put right in the middle of your table. And everybody that was eating ate from that tray. They just took it off that tray and put it in their plate and got what they wanted. Because it had like fries and fried fish, fried octopus, fried crab, every fried shrimp, every kind of seafood you could think of, and potatoes were piled on that big tray. Almost like they do a, what do they call it? A crawfish boil, whatever they call it. Yeah, enjoy your dinner, Slim. Eat some for me. I'm getting hungry. April says, I'm going to eat a star fruit. That sounds good. I bet star fruit is good. I've never eaten any. After I put the laundry in. You know, I had to do my laundry today too, upon everything else. Trying to get plaques boxed up, trying to get my video straightened out and uploaded. And I had to do laundry. Oh, it just seemed like everything fell on me today. Now Gladys says, I'm beyond hungry. I'm starving. She said earlier that she was getting hungry. Now she's starving. Well, I'll send you some of my pork roast and apple pie, Gladys. Yeah, I've watched Slim Twiggy's painting videos. It's kind of neat to watch it with the music she's got playing in the background. There's some pretty paintings. I used to do that with vases and bottles and different things. I'd take something like a regular bottle and turn it into a vase, basically, and I'd paint, put so much paint on it that the paint would run down the bottle, and then I would kind of turn it up sideways and roll it and let the paint go around it. And it made some really pretty patterns. My mom loved it, and when she went to ceramic class one time, she did one of her urns. It was an urn like with a little lid on it. She did the painting on it kind of like that. I said, well, I take that as a compliment. She liked my bottles and vases so much that she did her urn that way, or tried to do it the best she could. I know it's expensive to buy that much paint that you pour on one painting. I know because I deal with that acrylic paint. I've got some here, all different colors. I've got a box in the bedroom of it because I did tons of painting years ago, and most of my paint is starting to dry out. I took it out to help paint some of these plaques that I was doing, and a lot of my paint's dried up. I mean, I got some out of the little bottle, but a lot of the top of it was kind of dried up. Yep, it can get expensive because you use quite a bit of paint on one painting like Slim's doing. And you do several different colors, so. And you're lucky if you can buy that acrylic paint on sale where you can catch it for $1 a bottle. Most of the time you got to pay $2 or $3 for a bottle of it or more. And when you start using 5 or 6 or more different colors for one painting, that could get expensive. Yeah. Well, like I said, she tried to do it that way as close as she could because the acrylic painting is a little bit different than painting like freehand or pouring. You can't put that much paint on that urn to burn, to heat it up in the kiln. But she did it pretty close. And then she gave it to me. I still got it. Yeah, but I was just messing around one day at home. I was probably only 15, 16 years old. And I had this little old bottle. It was about the size of a drink bottle. And I was painting away, and I was getting a little bit too much paint on there, and it started running. And I said, well, that's looking kind of neat. So I started twisting it around different ways and let the paint roll all kind of ways on it. My mom walks through and she says, hey, that looks kind of neat. I says, don't it? Looks pretty good. She says, what are you making? I said, I'm going to make a candle holder out of this bottle. And that's what I did. You put one of the long straight candles, the long ones, down in it. The top of the bottle was just big enough to put a candle down in it. So it made a neat candle holder. I've got shows 23 in chat right now. Yeah, I've always got a bunch of silent watchers. I'm surprised when I end my video, I think nobody's watching. And then when I end the live and I see how many have been watching, it surprises me. It's like, whoa, I had a couple hundred people watching and I didn't know they were watching. Susan says, I keep switching to check scores. Well, who's playing today? I don't even know who was playing. I've been so busy. I don't even keep up with the ball scores or who's playing when. Oh, the Chiefs. And it's Gladys says, Connie, there's something wrong with my ringing. I'll call you. Maybe it's your wooden Indian, Gladys. I just found a video from Bloomin'. Yeah, I've been watching her videos. She's got a couple of them up. Yes, Susan, that's our Bloomin'. She kept telling me that she played piano and she'd sing a little bit, used to in church. And she told me she had some recordings and videos of it. And I said, well, why don't you put them on YouTube and share them with other people? And she says, oh, nobody wants to listen or watch me play piano. I said, you'll be surprised, because she said they're all like religious songs. I said, there's a lot of people out there that want to hear religious songs. I said, put them up there and see what happens. So the next thing I knew, she had put 3 videos up, and I watched them. They were pretty good, I thought. Well, there's finally Wilkes County boy. I figured you'd be watching a ball game. We wouldn't get you pried away from the ball games to come in my chat today. Yeah, Bloomin' must be sleeping, because I chatted with her earlier today, and then I sent her a message reminding her that I had my live at 3 o'clock Central Time, which is 4 her time, I think. But she may be tired. She's probably napping or something. Right, Connie. Gladys's wooden Indian is making Gladys toe the mark. He's not going to let any other men around Gladys. Not going to let them call her. Not going to let them come to her door. Gladys, where's your teeth? Questions. Can you freeze mushrooms after they are cooked? I don't know. I've never tried freezing mushrooms, but I don't see why you couldn't. You freeze everything else. I don't buy that many mushrooms because I am somewhat allergic to them, but I do eat a little of them sometimes if they're cooked. But I don't usually buy mushrooms at all. Oh, the Cowboys are not playing this week. I didn't think they were. Wilkes County boy, thank you for the pancakes. Connie says he says the marriage is going down. Oh, I love mushrooms. The ones I've eaten, the very few I've eaten sometimes, I love them. But I can't eat very many of them. My allergies, the way they work on me is a lot of times, unless it's something extremely strong that I'm allergic to, I can be around it 3 days before I have a reaction to it. Like the air that I breathe. I had to be in Texas for 3 days before it made me sick. Mushrooms, if I overeat too many of them, I start getting a reaction to them. If I eat just a little bit, then I'm fine usually. Because where I worked at Lake Stone Terrace, we ate the food from the kitchen. And I always loved the dishes that the sauteed mushrooms were in, but I had to be careful. I had to watch how many I ate so I didn't get a reaction to the mushrooms. Just like peanuts. Regular peanuts, I'm a little bit allergic to. I mean, if I overeat 2 or 3 big handfuls of peanuts, I'll start getting like a rough feeling in my throat, and I know to stop eating them because I'm eating too many. But I still eat peanuts. I just don't eat a lot of them. You love portobello mushrooms and cheese scrambled eggs. And see, I've never done that. Because, like I said, I didn't grow up with my mom buying mushrooms because she had allergies, so she didn't even buy them. I don't buy them because I'm allergic to them a little. Like I said, once in a while I'll break down and I'll buy a little bit, and I might saute them with some beef or ground beef or chicken, even with a little bit of sauce in it, and eat them because I love it. But other than that, I don't buy them. Yeah, I don't break out from them, but they start causing me some problems. I usually have breathing problems, and I don't want breathing problems. I like hot and spicy peanuts. I don't think I've ever tried hot and spicy peanuts, Wilkes County boy. I love peanuts, but I've tried the honey roasted ones, and they're pretty good. I usually just get plain salted peanuts if I buy any. I know I'm one of those that grew up when they you could get Pepsi and Coca-Cola in the bottles, the individual bottles. And as a kid, I'd leave school walking home because I'd go through town coming back home, and I'd stop by one of the stores and get me a Coke or a Pepsi, and I'd buy me one of those little bags of peanuts. And the first thing I did was take a sip out of my soda, enough to where I could pour my peanuts down in the bottle. And that's the way I ate my peanuts, was that little bag of peanuts poured down in my soda. I loved it like that. Drink and eat at the same time. Now, I've eaten the salt vinegar potato chips, and they're pretty good. I've not tried peanuts, though. Oh, my nose is itching. I love stuffed portobello mushrooms with turkey salad and with cream cheese sauce. I've never tried that. I like spicy and I like a little bit of hot. I can't eat real hot stuff like I used to years ago. If it's just like mildly hot, I'm okay. But the real hot stuff, I get the hiccups. My stomach protests. The minute that hot stuff hits my stomach, I'm hiccuping. I don't want to be down there. And see, I was lucky with that. I was born on the East Coast, right around where all the seafood was plentiful. I never had a problem with any kind of shellfish or any type of seafood. So I feel like I'm fortunate because I love any kind of seafood, fish, shrimp. I love fried oysters. I love macaroni salad with tuna as well, but I don't put hot sauce on it. Gladys says I like anything that can't eat me. Gladys, you're something else. Yeah, Barbara Mandrell was country when country wasn't cool. Oh, I like any kind of seafood. I eat my weight in some shrimp right now, whether they would be fried or boiled. I love shrimp. I love lobster, but I can't afford to buy it. I love salmon is my favorite. I love salmon, but I can't afford to buy too much of that. Uh, yeah, I like any kind of fish. I don't want an octopus though. That's like trying to chew on a inner tube. Flounder and shrimp I love because when we lived at the beach in North Carolina before we moved to Texas, we put out a 50-foot gill net and pulled it in every 12 hours. We had all the fish, the flounder, crabs we wanted. And then my ex, who is my ex now, he'd go shrimping. They had a shrimp boat that they'd take out in the canal and they'd drag a net and catch shrimp. So we always had plenty of fresh shrimp. We had a big box cooler right on our sidewalk to the side of the house. And we kept it full of fish, shrimp, clams, all kind of stuff. Oh no, that's terrible, Wilkes County. Boy, you got sick off of salmon patties one time. Never ate them again. Well, there must have been something wrong with the salmon. Maybe it was bad salmon that was put in those patties. Yeah, I love flounder. Just don't get any flounder out here. Yeah, I miss all that seafood we got in North Carolina. Oh my God, they have some of the best fried oysters you've ever eaten in your life. And they're fresh right off the ships coming in the port. Redfish too, yeah. We served fried oysters one time. The residents kept wanting fried oysters, so the chef got a couple of boxes of oysters to fry for the residents. And I looked at him when I saw those things and I said, you know what? I said, those oysters right there, that's an insult to oysters. I said, they're so little, by the time you cook them, they're going to be hard and crispy. They're not even going to be fried oysters. I mean, they were size of peanuts. And in North Carolina, you get a great big old oyster. I mean, a great big old thing that's been breaded and fried and it's been fresh. Oh, there's a world of difference. Now, I don't eat them with their heads on. I take their heads and their shell off before I cook them to eat them. And then I love them in a garden salad, or I love just boiled shrimp, Cajun shrimp. I love fried shrimp. Your mom will not eat any seafood at all, Wilkes County boy? Well, there's a lot of people that don't like seafood, I guess. I mean, there's things out there that I don't like, but there's not too many. I think that's my problem. I like all food too much. I just know I don't want octopus. I don't want escargot, which is nothing but old slimy snail. I'm not eating that, and I'm definitely not going to pay their outrageous prices to buy it. Yes, shrimp and cocktail sauce. Oh my gosh. I love that. Yeah, there was definitely something wrong with the salmon you ate, Wilkes County boy, if it made you sick. The salmon was probably had went bad and nobody realized it. Yeah, crappie is good. They're good fish. They kept them out, catch them out here, but I've never been any good at catching crappie here. Trout's good, yeah. Bass, I love bass. I've caught some of the biggest bass I ever caught in my life right out here off this pier. Hi, Blue, how are you? Wonder where John Ray is, Wilkes County boy. He's not been in my chat this evening. Or he didn't come in this afternoon. Maybe he just got tired of being in chats. Yeah, I bet you do miss a lot of your mom's cooking. Oh, I love catfish. You could tell that I went catfishing. That's what I caught the other day in my video. And I ate both of those big ones. I threw the little one back. And that made 2 big meals for me. Yeah, I like smoked oysters. I eat sardines, but I've not tried the mackerel or the mussels that were smoked. I haven't tried either one of those. Yeah, he might be out doing a bird video. Who knows? He's got some good videos on wildlife. Helen Stewart told you about my channel. Well, I'm glad Helen did tell you, Blue. Glad to have you. We're all talking about food and I'm getting hungry. You know, I like my sardines. I usually eat them with Ritz crackers, but I like them packed either in oil. I bought some of the sardines that were in the red sauce and I didn't care for them, but I like the plain sardines in oil. And I'll either make a sandwich with them. I'll slice some really thin onion and put on there and make a sandwich with the sardines, or I'll eat the sardines on saltine crackers. I love them that way. And I know people look at you sometimes like you're crazy, like, why are you buying sardines? Why are you buying little cans of smoked oysters? It's because I like them. I don't buy them all the time, but I do buy them. I love smoked oysters. I buy potted meat too. I like potted meat, but I will not eat a Vienna sausage. Those are the grossest things I've ever tried to put in my mouth before. And I know some people love them, which, like I said, to each his own. You know, some people like things I don't like. You just bought fresh sardines. I don't think I've ever had fresh sardines. I've always had them in the can. Yeah, I buy Spam occasionally. You eat Vienna barbecue? I've never heard of Vienna barbecue. How do you fix Vienna barbecue, Wilkes County boy? My friend and I do taste test on things. We did a bunch of olives and stuff from the olive jar at the store. Yeah, I like Spam. I make stir fry rice with Spam and it's real good. And I just like to make a sandwich with it. It's good like that. I like little sausages too, Susan. Love them. Vienna in barbecue sauce. I've never tried it. I tried eating Vienna sausages a few times and I didn't like it. I don't know if it was their texture or what it was. I just couldn't eat them, so I don't ever buy them. But I do like uh, potted meat. I like to make a sandwich with that or eat it with crackers. Yeah, Spam and mac and cheese is good. I fix that. I either put Spam chopped up in my macaroni, or I'll put little pieces of ham in there. And Spam tastes almost like the ham when you chop it up and put it in there, so there's not a bunch of difference. Like you eat hot dogs. Or stir fry with Spam. Yeah, I did a video on stir fry with Spam. Stir fry rice with Spam. It's really good. I don't care a whole lot for a regular hot dog. I will eat the Oscar Mayer hot dogs occasionally. Other than that, I'd rather buy the little sausage links and use them for hot dogs instead. That's what you were trying to say. You were trying to ask me if I like hot dogs. I'll eat them, but they got to be burnt. If I cook them on the grill, they got to come off the grill black when I put them between my buns. Same way if I do them in a frying pan. But I love the little sausages that are about the size of a hot dog, but it's like a beef sausage. I love those. I eat those like a sausage. I mean, I eat them like a hot dog. I love liver and onions. I grew up on liver and onions. Love it, love it, love it. Like Spam and rice with eggs and parsley. Sounds good. I've never eaten that combination before, but Blue, what is for dinner? Anna says, now I'm hungry and want to make the instant turkey, kibasas, and potatoes. I'm just going to heat up some leftover pork loin roast with my potatoes and carrots, I guess. Because it was good. I mean, I've been eating it off and on ever since I cooked it the other day. Liver and fried onions are good. Well, I like to brown the liver, take it out of the pan, and then throw my onions in there and make the gravy. Let the onions stay in the gravy till they cook a little bit, and then I put my liver back in there. Serve it with mashed potatoes. Oh my God, I could eat my weight in liver and onions cooked like that. Quick and easy got to you. It is good. I'm hoping I get enough bell peppers to pick enough to make a pan of stuffed bell peppers. I mean, I got quite a few out there, but some of them aren't big enough to do that. Some of them are getting pretty big, so I'm watching them. I love liverwurst, yeah. You can't get it out here, though. You can get that bratwurst or whatever it is, like in a little tube, like ground beef comes in, but it's not a liver sausage like you're talking about, or liverwurst. I had several people ask me, where's the liver pudding? Where's the liver sausage out here? I said, surprise, you can't buy that in Texas. Not that I've ever found. They were so disappointed. They don't have any type of liver sausage that I found in Texas. Like I said, the closest thing to it is bratwurst. I guess I pronounced that right. It's like a pate made from liver, which I love. I'll buy it and make sandwiches or eat it with crackers, but it's not liverwurst or liver pudding like we know it. Of course, this is beef country. You buy all that kind of stuff back in North Carolina where it's pig country. It's not beef. Glenda's Garden and More says at HEB. I don't know. I've checked all the stores. I've never found it out here. Okay, thanks, Wilkes County boy. Yeah, liverwurst, yeah. The brockwurst is real good. I mean, I love it on sandwiches. But like I said, it's not the liver pudding or the liverwurst and stuff that we get in North Carolina. They just don't have it out here. Fried Taylor ham sandwich on toast with ketchup. Yeah, my mom and dad always bought liverwurst, liver puddings, all kind. You know, some of it you get like in a almost a square box, like you get a small pound of butter that has like 4 sticks in it. It's about that size, and it's called liver pudding. And then you can get the liver pudding or liverwurst that's in a case, like the kielbasa sausage comes in. So you can cut it up in lengths and fry it. I love that, but you cannot buy it here. Yeah, the first time I asked for even for pork barbecue out here, they said, "Lady, we don't have pork barbecue here. This is Texas. This is beef country. If you eat barbecue, it's going to be beef." I learned that real fast. Liver mush. Yeah, see, in the mountains, they get liver mush that comes in that little box shape, like the butter comes in, and we slice that off and fry it. I love it. You can't buy it here, though, not in Texas. They don't have it. There's a lot of things I can't afford very often. Not down here in southeast Texas, we have pork barbecue. Well, I'm in north central Texas, and it's cattle country here. I mean, they finally got in a couple of restaurants that will serve pork barbecue. You know the pulled pork. I've not been to them, but even the pork barbecue that I've gotten out here has a red sauce to it. It's not fixed like we do it in North Carolina, because in North Carolina they mix garlic, hot peppers, vinegar, and oil, and that type of stuff, and that's what they put on the pork barbecue. Well, that's what I grew up eating. But out here, if you get pork even in the store, it's going to have a red sauce on it. And it's a lot different. But I mean, it's pretty good. Good gracious, guys. Y'all realize we've been on here for 3 hours now? And we're still talking away. I could talk all night. April says, okay, I can sit down a minute. We give you permission, April. You can sit down. Yeah, I finally noticed I could find pork barbecue like at Walmart. But like I said, it's in a red sauce. It's not the way we always fixed it in North Carolina. But it's good. I mean, I eat it. sometimes I'll get a craving for pork barbecue like we always had in North Carolina. So I'll buy some pork and I'll throw it in the crock pot and I'll cook it. I'll shred it all up and make some of that vinegar and oil and garlic and hot pepper sauce. Pour it in it and mix it up. And oh, it's good. I love it on sandwiches, or I can just eat it with my meal, you know. Gladys says, okay, who's sending me food? Google speech, I am just another Southern country boy. Sorry you are having a hard time understanding me. LOL. I'm not having a hard time. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I've seen it sliced in videos, but I've never gotten any to try it. And I've often wondered exactly what it tastes like. It looks like it would be good. Yeah, that's the kind I was trying to say. It's Braunschweiger liver sausage. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. That's the kind that I can find here. And I just put it on a sandwich or eat it with crackers because it's more like a pate than it is a sausage, really. But it's a little expensive. It's like $4 or $5, $6 for a pound of it. What are you talking that would be near me, Susan? A HEB? Yeah, we have HEB here. We have Brookshire's. We have Walmart Supercenter. We have Aldi. We have Kroger. I hear little buddy back at the door. He's wanting more food. He's spoiled. He can come in and finish eating what he left. Go ahead, you still got food in your bowl. Go eat it. I'm not going to open any more right now. Come here. Right here. Come here. Right here. There it is. He says he don't want that. He wants some of the other. You'll get some later. I'm not giving you any more right now. You got food in your bowl. Yeah, I've never been to a Costco. We don't have a Costco here. I'd have to go to Fort Worth or Dallas, and then I don't even know where it is up there. I've heard of other people that go, but I said I wouldn't buy enough worth going up there at one time. So the same way with Sam's. I used to have a membership there years ago when I was working, but I didn't like going there because you had to buy such large quantities, and I didn't have anywhere to store that stuff. Yeah, Annie, I think you're going to be okay. We'll all be praying for you. Yeah, our Sam's is in Fort Worth. It's not here where I live. But we do have a HEB, a Kroger, Aldi's, um, Brookshire's, Walmart Supercenter. We have a David's. It's a smaller family type grocery that's here. I don't usually ever go there. Glenda's Garden and more. What should I make for dinner with ground beef? Any ideas? Can make a little bit of chili. You can make hamburger steak patties is what I call them. I call it my hamburger steak when I fry it in the pan with onions and stuff in it, garlic. Um, Yeah, hamburger steak with fried taters. That's what I was telling her. Or a baked potato, even. Gladys says, Linda, if I scratch on the back door, will you give me food? Yep, Gladys, if you scratch on my back door, I will let you in and feed you. Beef noodles with gravy would be good. Yeah. Beef soup, a real thick beef and vegetable soup would be good too. Mashed potatoes and gravy. I could just eat plain mashed potatoes and gravy. We've been talking about food for like 2 hours now, so you got to get hungry. I don't know how we got on this topic of food, but we always seem to get there. I had sour cream and mushrooms and to beef and noodles. It sounds good. April says, I'm hungry. Eat your star fruit, April. That's the way I eat mine, Wilkes County boy. I just smother my potatoes with gravy. She says I am. Did you empty your bowl, little buddy? You come pretty close to it. You've only got a couple of more mouthfuls in there. But you empty that, I'll give you more. You're not starving. You've eaten quite a bit today. I want mashed taters now. I do rub smoke for 2 hours, then make a Carolina honey barbecue sauce and put that on and cook for another 2 hours at 275 wrapped up in foil. That sounds good. True. Don't have any mushrooms, but that sounds good. Anna's mobile home line. The few times that I do eat mushrooms, I have made the little hamburger steaks, put them in a frying pan, start browning them. I cut up an onion in there, brown it, and then I throw my mushrooms in there, put a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and that's good. I mean, that's good right there. I mean, I'd rather have that than have a T-bone steak, really. Buddy wants a can of sardines. Well, you know, I've tried to give him some of that catfish, but he turned his nose up at it. I've tried to give him other meat off the table, and he won't eat it. He won't eat cooked chicken off the table. No beef. He won't eat any of it. He just walks away like, I'm not eating that. If it's not cat food out of a bag or cat food out of a can, this cat don't eat it. Yep, and put it over mashed taters. That's even better. Mashed taters are either a baked potato. I don't know if he would eat sardines. Seemed like when I had a can of sardines, I tried giving him some and he didn't eat it. But I know I gave him a piece of my catfish. He walked off. He sniffed it, turned his head, and he just walked off like, I'm not eating that. Wilkes County boy, I can eat a big bowl of them worms. Oh, Lord. Thanksgiving's just around the corner. Yes, it is. We'll all be fixing our Thanksgiving feast for lunch or dinner. I'll probably go to my son's for Thanksgiving Day, but I'm still going to cook something for here, I'm sure. Maybe not at the same time, but later or before. Oh, your son called ramen noodles worms? Well, that's about what it looks like. Only ramen noodles go on forever. They don't ever end. It's pretty good, April, that apple pie. That recipe is just a simple apple pie, but that recipe is older than I am, because that's the same recipe my mom used when I was growing up. And it makes the best apple pie. I know one of my viewers, I called it an old-fashioned homemade apple pie. And she said, well, I watched your video, but she said, what makes it old-fashioned? She said, my mom cooks apple pies all the time. I said, well, I don't know, but this one's old-fashioned to me because it's older than I am. I said, this is a recipe that my mom had probably before I was ever born. He would say, Daddy, fix me a bowl of worms. That's funny. And could you imagine somebody coming to your house about the time your little boy asked for a bowl of worms and they didn't know what he was talking about? What they would think? They'd probably say, well, did that kid just say he wanted a bowl of worms? Kind of like my younger brother when he'd tell Mama he wanted bloody eggs for breakfast. If you didn't know what he meant, you'd think, oh my God, he wants bloody eggs? Because, that would sound kind of bad to a stranger that didn't know what you were talking about. They say, my God, those people feed that boy worms. They'd have CPS after you, Wilkes County boy, feeding that boy worms. He told them at school he eats worms. Oh, that reminds me of the horrible thing that happened to us when Harry was a puppy. He and his brother Tyke had worms, and the doctor gave them medicine but didn't tell us anything about it. Yeah. That doctor wasn't about to tell you what the reaction those animals were going to have to that medicine. You'd have been putting them in a cage and locking them up for a while. Oh my God. No, I've seen... You know what? I got to take that back. Because I did see it in a video one time, and the last time I made a pork in my crock pot to make pulled pork, I wrapped up, I think, 2 or 3 potatoes in foil, and I put them at the top, and I baked them right along. It cooked when my pork cooked, and they came out fine, but I never would have thought of doing that. Yeah, I never thought about wrapping up the potato and putting it in the top, on top of my pork when I put it in there to make that pulled pork, but I did that day, and those potatoes came out great. Little buddy, where are you at? I know he's wanting out. He's not eating anymore. Little buddy, where are you? Come on, I'll put you back out. Yeah, I remember the time that my younger brother, the first time I heard him ask my mom or tell her that he wanted bloody eggs for breakfast. He said, "What?" She said, "What are you talking about, Eddie? Bloody eggs." He said, "Yeah, Mama." He said, "Scramble my eggs and I'm going to put ketchup on them and make bloody eggs out of them. That's the way I like to eat them." And ever since then, she knew what he was talking about when he said he wanted bloody eggs for breakfast. Some more of my homemade tater soup with cornbread. I love tater soup. And I like the cornbread, but I've never put cornbread in my potato soup. Ketchup makes everything better. Wilkes County boy, I'll be waiting for spaghetti and meatballs and some cornbread. I like mustard on my eggs. You know, I've never tried mustard on my eggs. It might be good. I've never tried it. Oh my goodness. Y'all, it's going on 3.5 hours here. It's 3:06 is the timer I got up here. Are y'all getting tired of me jabbering around? Yeah, Buddy may have eaten something that was human food and got very sick. Or the people that owned him to start with, that might be all they ever fed him was canned cat food or dried cat food. He may not ever have gotten table scraps or meat of any kind other than the canned food for cats. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I love making all these soups, especially when the weather gets cool. I like my beef soup, beef vegetable soup. I like my hamburger. I love the hamburger soup. I'd rather have the hamburger soup than any of them. And I love my potato soup. And I do love pumpkin soup. It's real good. I never would have thought I would have liked it until I got pumpkins a couple years ago. And I saved some of I made puree out of them to keep the pumpkin. And I made pies. I made pumpkin spice muffins with them. I made pumpkin soup, the first time I'd ever made pumpkin soup. And it was good. My mom used to make homemade dinner rolls all the time. I wish I could make them like she did. You know what? I used to make the little meatballs back when I was still married, because my husband was a boss man, and he'd give his staff, all of his staff, Christmas parties each year. And I did a Christmas party just for the wives. I'd get one of the places with a big room here in town, and I'd take all the stuff out there, and the women would come, and we'd have our little Christmas party. And I made the little meatballs with the barbecue sauce, the grape jelly and stuff, and they loved them. They said, "How in the world did you make these little meatballs? They are so good." And it was the grape jelly that did it. I mean, that little bit of grape jelly made the world of difference with those little meatballs. And I served them with toothpicks, like hors d'oeuvres. That's why I did all of the stuff at the little parties. I made all kind of little hors d'oeuvres and stuff and put it out on the table. Well, apple butter on pancakes would be real good. I haven't eaten apple butter in years. Georgia says, I put peanut butter on pancakes. I've never tried peanut butter on pancakes, but I like both, so why not put them together? I ate apple butter the whole time I was growing up because my mom bought apple butter all the time. And I loved it. That's what she grew up eating, was apple butter. Yeah, pumpkin bread, pumpkin spice muffins are the best. Oh my God, you put raisins and nuts in those with the spices. Oh, it's so good. I made a pan of them and took them to my son's house one Thanksgiving when I went over there one Christmas. And I told him, I said, I brought you some muffins. He said, I don't want anything that sweet right now. I said, oh, they don't have icing or nothing on them, but they're real good. And I left them there, whatever was there, because I took a whole bunch. And he took some to work with him for breakfast, and he loved them. I haven't looked in years to see if I could even buy apple butter. I don't know if we have it out here or not. That might be the reason I haven't eaten any in years. Maybe they don't have it, so I couldn't buy it. I don't know. I'm going to have to look next time I go buy any groceries. Glenda says her husband loves peanut butter on pancakes. Maybe Safeway. I don't know. Yeah, Georgia, that's what I was talking about when you first came in earlier. Just before you came in, I had already been on live for a half hour, and I showed the box with the nuts. They're right here with me. Yeah, I showed everybody the walnuts, the almonds, big bag of almonds, and the dried cherries. And it was right after I showed them, I think like 10, 15 minutes after I showed them, you came in. I said I knew that was going to happen. Usually I wait till I think everybody's in chat before I show it. And usually after I show it, the person that sent it comes in and they don't see it. But yes, ma'am, I did show it. And I thank you so much for sending it. I definitely could not afford to buy that, because I know those almonds and walnuts and those dried cherries were not cheap. Georgia says, I had to go off for a while, but I send you some apple butter. They have it at my store. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, I just got it yesterday. It come in my mail yesterday, and this box has been sitting here on my table because I didn't want to show it or put it in a video because I knew I was going live today. I said I'll just wait and show it in my live and hope that Georgia would be in the chat. Well, I've never roasted pumpkin seeds, but I was thinking about roasting the ones that I got out of this pumpkin. And I've got another little pumpkin I need to cut. And I'll have a big handful of seed out of that too. But I've never tried roasting them. But everybody says they're really good. Yeah, I see. Looks like everybody loves me. I got some sweet people that come in my chats. Well, thank you, George. I hate for you to go to the expense of doing that. April says, I eat pumpkin seeds raw. I've not tried that. Maybe I need to try one raw. It might be pretty good. I was going to save a few, to plant next year, but I said I got too many to save. And I think I've already got some saved. So I said I can afford to start roasting some of them, I guess. Well, thank you, Georgia. You will be certainly blessed. You are a blessed person. Well, if you can eat them roasted, why couldn't you eat them raw? Your pecans, your walnuts, and all that are raw when you eat them. They're not roasted. Lots of healthy benefits, good for nerves. Well, I might have to try some of that. Georgia says, where is loving living? Is it loving life living or something like that? I don't know. Was she in here earlier, you guys? I don't remember seeing her. Seemed like I saw loving life living or somebody in chat earlier. Unless I think I'm seeing things. April says, soak your nuts in water overnight. Okay, well, I'll try that. They become fresh like off the tree. Huh. I didn't know that. I thought she was. She may have had to leave. And you can ground up your almonds, and they're good as toppings, on things as well. Oh, Lord. Be careful how you eat those pumpkin seeds. You might end up carrying pumpkins in your belly. Let's hope not. Oh, my God. Could you imagine having a pumpkin growing in your belly? That would be beyond weird. That'd be as weird as that guy that I heard about. He said he lost his job because his stomach was getting so big he looked awkward, and it was interfering with the job he was doing. So his boss basically gave him a layoff and told him to get his health situation straightened out, and he might think about putting him back to work. Well, he was out of work for a while and then got hurting so bad, and they say this guy had a baby. Now, I don't know how that happened. That's the strangest thing I ever heard of. Everybody would think you were pregnant. Yeah, pregnant with a pumpkin. Yeah, I said this has got to be just a fictitious story they put here just to get people to watch it or something, because that did not sound right. And in the story, it said that his wife kept looking at him like, something's wrong with you. You need to go to the doctor and get checked out. And finally, his stomach got so big that he did go to the doctor to get checked out. And that's what it was. He was pregnant. Now, how does that happen? You tell me. Yeah, and don't you feel bad, Wilkes County boy, when you do that? They tell you that they're not pregnant. They just have a big belly. Gladys says I'm scratching on the back door. I don't believe you did that for 1 minute, Wilkes County boy. That's just a story you're making up. Because most of the women that I've ever come in contact, if you'd ask them something like that, they would be so mad at you if they weren't pregnant and you asked them when their baby was due. Yeah, that's a problem that a lot of women have later in life, Anna. You're right, don't want to be slapped. Oh, Lordy, it's been almost 3.5 hours. Aren't y'all tired? I've said congratulations and they weren't pregnant. Oh, gosh. That's terrible. He knew women got pregnant. It doesn't matter if you're married or not, Susan. That's why he said so. My grandson asked my daughter, is Grammy having a baby? And I laughed. We find some weird, crazy stuff to chat about, I'll tell you. Wilkes County boy says, yeah, I got to find me a snack. Get you a bowl. You need a bowl of popcorn, Wilkes County boy. Sit down with your popcorn just like at the movies. Really, Susan? In this day and time, you don't want to be single with babies. Had to get out of the heat in Vegas. I can imagine. I think my wiggle wiggle is broken, Gladys. Chiefs won 31-17. No kids in this world now. What if I stand up and I do a wiggle wiggle, but you can't see me? Maybe you can just see my feet. Would that be okay? Say wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I got to get up and move around. I've been sitting in the chair too long. Are you happy, Gladys? I did a wiggle wiggle. My wiggle's broken almost. It won't wiggle. When am I going to sing you a song? I don't know. Did you see my video when I went live the other night? I didn't let anybody know that I was going live. And I sang 3 or 4 songs and then got off. I love ravioli. But yeah, I got bored, didn't want to watch TV, didn't want to watch a video. And I said, well, you know what? People have been wanting me to sing, so I decided I was just all of a sudden go live. I figured everybody be in bed asleep. They wouldn't pay any attention to me on live YouTube. And oh my God, I no sooner got on there and started singing, and there I had like 10 people in chat. I've never really tried singing the national anthem. I've messed with it, but never really tried. Well, you can see the replay of it. It's one of the lives that's got me standing up in the middle of the screen with a microphone, and it's got surprise written out to the side. That's the one I went live all of a sudden and just started singing. I figured you missed it, Wilkes County boy. I told Bloomin', because she was one of the first people in the live. I said, well, Bloomin', I figured you'd be asleep. She called it almost the minute I posted it. When I went live, she was on there. And I got good response. I mean, they said they liked what I was singing and everything, but I told them I was going to have to practice a little bit more and take care of this cough a little bit more before I did too much singing. Spam and rice stir fry with parsley. That sounds good. Well, April, I grew up with a talented family. My mom, she wanted to sing when she was young and in school, in high school, and she took voice lessons. And she was always singing around the house, which I loved. My dad played harmonica. My grandmother played piano. I had aunts and uncles that played guitar, accordion, and if they didn't play an instrument, they sang. And my grandmother played piano. We'd get around her piano, especially on holidays, and we'd all sing. And on holidays, when I was even home with just my family and my dad, he wanted me to, all of us to sing with him, Christmas carols and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. And then I started singing in church. And then with the church out here that I used to go to, I was in their choir for 20 years. I sang 3 services every Sunday morning in that choir. I sang some solos. I sang in every concert they had. And I sang in all the shows that they had, that they put on for 20 years. So I had a lot of experience singing. I don't think I'm that good at all, but it's something I love to do. Glenda's, I forgot to put your name first, spam and rice stir fry with parsley. Well, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of practicing, a lot of music to learn. And we did have a screen, to catch words off of, because it was almost impossible to learn songs as fast as we were singing them and changing them every Sunday. So we had like a big screen at the other side of the church that we could read off the board, and we could read the words. So if you couldn't remember all the words to the song, at least they were up there and you could see them. Kind of like karaoke, but. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed singing, but I don't go to church anymore. I had some bad experiences, and I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, I'm not in choir anymore. I don't go to church anymore, but I still love to sing. And years ago, when I first started my YouTube channel, I started it with recordings that I had done of songs I sang. And I uploaded them on my YouTube channel, like Bloomin's doing hers, And I had so many people trying to get in there and destroy my channel, it was not funny. And they finally got into Google and messed it up to where I couldn't even get into my YouTube channel anymore. It's still there, but I don't have access to it. I can't get into it. And I tried uploading those songs that were recorded again, and YouTube won't upload them because they say they're not in the right format or something. I guess they changed their format since I had uploaded them years ago. But I can sing live on there. Yeah, I used to sing to my babies when they were little. You know, when you were rocking them and getting them to go to sleep, I'd sing to them and stuff like that. And I'll always remember my mom going around the house, cleaning house or cooking, it didn't matter. She was singing away. I always thought she had a beautiful voice. Wilkes County boy, you didn't. Did you really sing in a church choir? Well, this was a big church because it was so big they had to split it up into 3 services, 8 o'clock, I think 9 o'clock, and then like 11 or so. But we had 3 services going on because they couldn't get everybody in the church. And this is like a $12 million church. It's a big building. And I sang in all 3 services every single Sunday. And that was a lot of music. For about 5 years. Well, I never would have guessed that, Wilkes County boy. But good for you. You got an experience in singing a little bit. We had to hold our hymnals. Well, in church services, you could hold your hymnals, but I didn't like holding it because I had to keep my head turned down all the time. And my arthritis in my hands started hurting after holding the book for so long that I didn't want to hold it. And then my hands got stiff and I couldn't make a fist, and I just didn't want to hold it, so I wouldn't carry the book out there. And in the concerts, you weren't allowed to take a book. You had to remember those words and sing it. And especially when the concerts we did in Waco, like the pastor's convention and all that, you didn't have a screen to see the words, and you were not allowed to take your book. Used to sing Delta Dawn together all the time. Denver won. Well, it was Denver's day today then. Were you a little Tanya, Anna? You sing to your doggy? Oh, I bet he likes it. Susan said they were 2-5 for their record. I was raised going to a small 150-year-old church with only 89 members. Well, when I was small, we went to churches in New York when we lived up there, and we went to a Protestant church because my mom was raised Catholic. My dad was just old-time religion, and he didn't want to go to the Catholic church, so we went to the Protestant church, which is a medium, in between. And when we moved to Texas, after I was divorced and everything, even though I didn't really consider myself Baptist, I started going to the Baptist church. And then a few years later, I joined the church, but I sang in the choir all that time. I mean, if it hadn't been for the choir, I probably would not have went to church as much. Are you singing, Wilkes County boy? Old man Tucker was a fine old man. He washed his face in the frying pan, combed his hair with a wagon wheel, died with a toothache in his head. I remember hearing that all the time, but I never tried to sing it. Singing to my dogs. Are they running away? I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Wilkes County boy. They probably like to hear you sing to them. They're howling. They're trying to sing with you, Wilkes County boy. That's how dogs sing. They howl. That's the only way they can sing. The howling. See, April, you could get your dogs together with Wilkes County boys' dogs, and you could have a dog choir. Now that would sound good. I don't have a dog, so I don't know about the dogs howling. Rough, rough. Dogs choir concert. There you go, Wilkes County boy. Dogs can put on a concert for you. Yeah, scratch, scratch. That's little buddy. He'll come in. He'll scratch the door. He'll play music. He'll scratch music for you while the dogs are singing. Sounds like he's playing a washboard. Oh my goodness, I'm enjoying this, but guys, I feel like I gotta let you go. Can't keep you on here. You play a guitar, April. Wow. I wish I could play a guitar. I've never really tried. I've tried piano and accordion and drums. My younger brother played drums, and he had a big drum set. So I got in his room one day and started playing because he'd showed me a little bit. And my dad come down the hallway. He said, "Do you know what, Mike? I told you not to play those drums in the house while I'm home." He said, "I told you not to play those drums. I'm trying to watch TV." He got to the doorway and he saw it was me, and he just broke out in a laugh. He just done his hand like that. He says, "Oh, hell." He thought it was my brother in there. You're watching Glenn Ford and Rita Hayworth. Wilkes, April, that video would go viral. Yeah, it would. If you had Wilkes County boy singing to his dogs and them singing, howling, and little buddy scratching on the door. And you had and you had April's dogs and they're doing the same, it would be hilarious. We'd get 1,000,001 views off of that. We'll make it on the full moon. Well, hey, Derek. My day's been great. Busy, but great. How has your day been? Yeah, America's Funniest Videos. I used to love to watch that show. I wish several times I hadn't taken it off. Well, good, Derek. I'm glad you had a beautiful day. Oh, I've been laughing so hard I'm crying. My battery's down to 5%. I got to plug my phone in or I can't read the chat. Now, maybe it'll charge up to where it won't die on me. Connie says, Linda, I play accordion, have been for 50 years. Wow. I bet you're good. Let me check this charger. Make sure it's plugged in good. The camera's fine. Well, it's not charging for some reason. Oh. It was down to 0, so I'll have to read the chat off of this the camera phone. I mean, off the camera chat. Because I can't see my other one anymore. The battery died on it. And it didn't want to charge when I had it holding it in my hand. Derek said he was a great actor. I don't think 42 degrees is that cold, but boy. Yeah, 42 degrees is cold. When you're used to 105 and 109 degree temperatures, 42 is cold. Gladys says, Linda, cook for all of us, please. I'm not cooking tonight. I'm just heating up leftovers. And it's so good to laugh, I know. That's why you need to go to that Chippendales or whatever club your daughter was talking about taking you to. You'll have so much fun and you'll laugh. Oh, you'll laugh. I promise you, you'll have so much fun, you'll never regret going with your daughter. But you really need to go with her. My chat screen is up to 1% charge. It completely died. Yeah, you only live one time, Connie. And since it's your daughter wanting you to go with her, you need to go. You'll have a blast. Just don't have a heart attack. Come on, chat. Come back up so I can see you. Got 26 people back in here. I might have to take my camera into the bedroom where I can get on the laptop to read the chat. The chat's not even up right now on the camera. Can't see anything. I should have known better that I could have had it plugged in. I'm eating now, so Gladys, I'm going not to look at the chat because you make me laugh so hard. Oh my goodness. Gladys is a character. So hard she's spit my water all over. It's charged up to 3%. I don't know if it'll come on and show me the chat or not, but I'm going to try. It might drain that 3% out just by turning the phone on so I can read it. I will chat to you later. Good night, everyone. Take care. Wilkes County boy. Yeah, I mean, we've been on here for so long. I think all of us need to get off. We got other things to do, and whew, I don't know if I can laugh anymore. Connie, still worried about your husband with that life insurance policy? Well, I tell you what, people, I love each and every one of you. I've enjoyed this live chat so much tonight. I've laughed so much, I'm crying. And I'm coughing. But please tell everybody to like, share, subscribe to my videos, and above all, watch them. It doesn't cost anything. They're free. And I'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a fantastic night. Bye, y'all. Love you.